Professor Jerry Ghana, Reconciliation Committee gives Senator Alimadu Sharif and his faction conditions for peace. Sharif to study it and get back to them as leaders are racing for time ahead of next week's National Convention planned by Senator Ahmed Makarifi. In the House of Representatives, the leadership continued to battle with the effect of the pardon allegations and the controversies trailing it. It may be APC's first budget, but the controversy over it may also be termed historical. That's our focus on the program. Thank you so much for joining in, everyone. This is Politics Today, live on Channel Television. We're celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. I'm Sean Wakimale, and welcome to the program. Well, let's begin with serving you some of the top political stories you're following right now.
Political roundup on Channel Television. Here are your top political stories this time.
All appears good and set in terms of preparation for the Edo State governorship election. The umpire INEC has presented the full names of qualified candidates from 19 political parties that will be participating in the exercise.
The Getting register of voters is the bedrock of free, fair and credible elections. It is an indispensable forerunner to an election.
The Commission, in a meeting with political parties and other stakeholders, also presented electronic copies of voters registered to the political parties. As the people of Edo State are looking forward to the governorship election in September, so are the people of Ondo State. Some members of the All Progressives Congress in the state are worried about the issue of imposition of candidates. The chairman of All Progressives Congress in 16 out of the 18 local government areas in the state have voiced out on the issue of endorsement of a particular individual among the party's aspirants in the forthcoming governorship election in the state. More reactions have continued to trail the report of the National Human Rights Commission, which indicted 118 persons of committing various forms of malpractices and violence during the 2007-2011 general elections in Nigeria. First was the former governor of Delta State, Dr. Emmanuel Duagan, and now Mr. Clarence Olafemi, a former Speaker of the Kogi State House of Assembly from 2007 to 2011, and an acting governor in 2008.
The judgment which they based their report on, they did not study the case. If they had studied, they will not recommend it for prosecution.
When an allegation is made against you and it has not been proved by any court of law, it is not an allegation that a body like that should publish such a name.
And you're up to date. Those are your top political stories you need to know.
Many thanks for staying with us on the program. Let's now move into some of the issues that we're focusing right here on the program. We have been following the developments in the People's Democratic Party in the wake of the leadership crisis and the division which is threatening the planned next week National Convention, owing to some of the court cases hanging around it. Well, the convention is being planned by the Senator Ahmed Makarifi Caretaker Committee of the party, where the Reconciliation Committee of the People's Democratic Party is making frantic efforts to reconcile aggrieved members of the party ahead of its proposed National Convention scheduled for next week, Wednesday. The chairman of the Reconciliation Committee, Professor Jerry Ghana, told journalists after a meeting with the Senator Alimadu Sharif faction in Abuja that the committee hopes to reconcile all factions ahead of the party's convention. Meanwhile, some members of the party from Northeast, led by the governor of Gombe State, are asking members from the region to be cautious of decisions to be taken by various leaders of the party to avoid plunging it into another round of crisis.
I have the pleasure to present the Reconciliation Committee of the PDP presenting recommendations to the Senator Alimadu Sharif's faction ahead of the party's convention next month. Although the content of the document is concealed from journalists, the chairman of the committee says it will promote reconciliation if implemented.
Following the interactions we had at our first meeting with this very distinguished body to present a set of recommendations that we believe, if well considered, accepted, and effectively implemented, will promote reconciliation very soundly in our party.
Senator Ali Modu Sharif is expected to study the document ahead of a bigger meeting with the contending factions. At a separate meeting with party members from the Northeast, the governor of Gombe State is asking members to be cautious of decisions to be taken by various leaders of the party to avoid plunging it into another round of crisis.
We must be very cautious of some of the issues that will come out. We should not take any decision which will bring more problems to the party.
The youth wing of the party is also insisting that they be carried along.
With due respect to our leaders in the party, we were just following politicians, you know, who we are supporting, but not necessarily carrying us along.
Let it be on record that for PDP to regain its dwindling, because it's not lost glory, it's dwindling glory, they must engage the youths.
The PDP has been immersed in leadership crisis since it lost the presidential elections last year. Since then, several efforts to unite the party have failed.
But that's it. Therefore, the PDP will be waiting and watching what exactly becomes of the situation in the party. Well, let's now go into one of our major stories of the day, the allegations of budget padding rocking the House of Representatives and the leadership. When Honorable Abdulmumin Jibrin, the former chairman of the Appropriation Committee, came up with the allegations of padding, several issues have been thrown up. Debate on how long padding has been with the National Assembly. Meanwhile, Honorable Jibrin has challenged Speaker Yakubu Dogara and some principal officers to a public debate over allegations that the 2016 budget was padded. According to the former chairman, the public debate will also be an avenue to consider the position of the group that what happened is not an offense that can be prosecuted under Nigerian laws. The lawmaker says he has forwarded to anti-corruption agencies documents showing how the speaker and the other 3 principal officers allegedly committed the offences. He says he will continue to cooperate with the anti-corruption agencies and guide them on how to crack what he terms a code of corruption in the House of Representatives. Well, on popular demand from our viewers, I will be showing you some yet to be seen portions of our exclusive interview with the Chief Whip of the House of Reps, Honorable Al-Hassan Adodogua, in his response to the allegations made by Honorable Jibrin. Take a listen. The man whose soul ended, according to him, made the Chief Whip of the House.
That accepted. Tell him I've accepted that he single-handedly made me the Chief Whip, and there's no problem about that. But I challenge him to now come in the same manner to single-handedly remove me as Chief Whip. A small boy that came in the last 4 years.
You think that there should be a disciplinary measures against him?
Disciplinary, if you use disciplinary, you are even being soft. We should have to have a super and stringent disciplinary measures taken against that.
Maybe suspending him?
I don't want to preempt the position of the House. Remember, I'm the chief discipline officer in the House, the Chief Whip of the House of Representatives.
So you use your whip on him now?
Of course, my cane will lash him, but subject to the agreement of members of the House of Representatives. It's a mandate. Okay. I can't do it alone. Okay. But in my opinion, personally, I feel he should be punished.
How do you hope that this will end? Do you think that you could sit down on the table and resolve all these matter with Honorable Jibrin? At least he's from your state.
My brother, let me tell you this. When you talk about the parliament, the secret behind the operations of every parliament is about number. As long as you can be able to contain and have the good number, significant and needed number behind you, then every other thing can be taken for granted. Abdulmumin has fought this institution. Abdulmumin has taken our names to the streets unnecessarily, and I want to tell you, no one of us, personally or officially, is ready to even make any reconciliation. Abdulmumin